Hello, hello. Well. Let's see. I'm alive and well, I suppose. I'll move myself on screen. Whoa! Again, it's me. Oh my gosh, you can see me. That's wild, isn't it? Well. Yeah, it is quite surprising, you know? It's me. I'm back. I'm streaming. I'm in the groove. And it is another day, which means another opportunity to stream. A little bit of pre-stream, as per usual. So, I've not been doing overly much lately, but I have been watching some anime and whatnot. And I don't know, I think I was scrolling through and I think I've seen most fantasy anime. Wait. Yeah, I've seen most fantasy anime over the past, like, oh my gosh, when? Yeah, up until like 2020, 2022, I think. It's quite a lot, all in all, if anything. So, I'm not really sure how much more I have in terms of like big backlog, but you know, that's just because I can't think of anything right now. So maybe I've just yet to find anything, but yeah, it's not half bad. It's not half bad. Also, I was thinking about what the best times people would like me to stream at, and I wonder if it's better to stream Chaos Zero Nightmare on Wednesdays as well, and maybe swap out something on weekdays, because I'm noticing that as I was looking through some of the like charts and everything like that, that actually Sunday evening is really quite good for DMC, and whereas Wednesday is really good for Chaos Zero Nightmare. So maybe next week I'll try out that. I'll do Sunday as DMC and Wednesday as Chaos Zero Nightmare. How does that sound? It kind of shakes things up a little bit. I know that people enjoy a lot of consistency, but at least my analytics say that it might be good. You know, I'm at least very transparent about it. I can't help it. But it's deciding on a schedule that is quite difficult, I think, because you never know if everything's going to work out how you want it to during a week. And so deciding in advance what I want to play, instead of doing things sporadically, makes me feel like, oh wow, is my schedule actually how I want it to be? And you can only adjust it for the next week. I can't imagine trying to do this for more than just a week, you know? So, I don't know, maybe it's something worth contemplating. And I don't intend on, of course, adjusting my schedule today or anything like that. But I intend on maybe next week with the new schedule post, which, I don't know, I gotta admit, I've been slacking a little bit because I jump between working on the schedule to editing videos to working on the Discord server that I mentioned to doing a whole bunch of stuff. And then, like, I gotta admit, I'm not, like, amazing at being super social on social media, so I've been attempting to do that as well. And I feel like a combination of these 3 to 4 things has, like, yes, focusing on one might be better. It might be better towards longevity and improvement and so on and so forth, and I should probably try doing that, but bouncing between every single one of them makes me feel like I'm still both making progress and because it's not as monotonous because I can do multiple things at once, you know? So it's got a lot of upsides to it. It's not solely limited or strictly limited to a single thing, and that's why I feel comfortable with it. But I've been kind of going on a little bit over stream. So let's actually get right into it. I want to... Oh wait, the game does not have audio. Let me fix that. Can you hear now? Let's see. Yeah, you can hear it now. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And then let's pause my music in the background. And then we can begin. So I played a lot of Chaos Zero Nightmare. I did the weekly Chaos, which is only 2 runs, but trust me when I say that I've played quite a bit of it. I've gone up to Exploration level 27, and most of what I'm missing are some of the events, as well as some of the equipment, albeit I only need to grab some of them once in order to fill out more of this index, and then once I've done that, you know, I actually didn't realize until quite recently that you have to fight everything at least 6 times, or at least once if it's an elite, and you have to collect every single item in order for the exploration level to go up. Hello, welcome, welcome. I'm just going over some of my thoughts on the recent patch. I did talk a little bit about pre-stream. So, I think, so far, I'll go back and I'll start here. Season 2 is pretty good. And that's not to say that it didn't come without some of its own flaws. Season 2 introduced a lot of mechanics, as we can probably take a look here. Season 2 introduced a lot of new cards, some of which I think have really cool effects, but also some which kind of suck. Some of them break some of the mechanics to the game, and it's not shown here, but patches were required during these times when cards broke the game in order to kind of fix the problems that they caused. And I know it was listed on a balance notes, as well as patch notes, etc., and there were some hot fixes to it, but it did end up kind of spoiling a couple of runs. Not too bad, but it is a little bit sad that it's the case in the first place. As well, some of the translations that I've noticed throughout Season 2, they've been fairly consistent yet inconsistent. There's been some points where there were $ used, where there were references to various keywords or misspellings of existing keywords. And although that's the case, I think Season 2 is basically overall a really good improvement over Season 1. I think my main takeaway is that I would say Season 1 should have been left in the game as a way to return to it, because it would also make things easier to compare between, but because I think that Season 1 has a lot of mechanics that Season 2 could probably use from, unless we see more of what Season 2 has to offer later on. So I won't give my final thoughts on Season 2 until I've both read through the story and until I've gotten to the end of the final act of it, which releases like close to the end of Season 2. So far, the season decorations, I mean, they're cute, of course, that's a given. The new cards all introduce really cool mechanics, I think. Some of the most notable ones being Spore Harvester, a very cool one to have introduced. I think that Forgotten Grave is a really cool card because it encourages using every single type. Or wait, no, it wasn't this one. My bad. One with All is a really cool card because it encourages playing multiple types of cards in order to fulfill some kind of condition, which I think is a really cool way to introduce some complexity into not only how you decide on playing your hand, but how you play through the entire hand. So instead of saying, I need to play 2 attacks, I need to now choose the order of which I perform attacks, which isn't limited only to the intent of an enemy, but also to what cards you have available. So for instance, if you have card draw, incineration, and want to attempt to use all of them to fulfill the 3 conditions where you deal damage, gain shield, and heal yourself, I think this is quite a cool card. It is, however, a little bit unfortunate that it's so difficult, but I think having high payoff cards like this is a good step in a right direction. Similarly, I do quite like, and I think I may be able to find it, some of the Lumen cards that were added. It doesn't seem that they're added to this page. The Lumen cards being cards that have an effect called Harmonize, as well as the Exhaust effect, where if you're at the same level of AP the cost is for the Harmonize, they grant a new effect. So, yet again, it encourages some form of play order. As well, I think that some of the new equipment. Actually, I should be able to go into the Chaos Codex for this via exploration, and perhaps I can see some of it. It doesn't seem like I can view cards, but I can view equipment. I do very much like some of the new equipment that has been added. I think it's made some characters way more useful, as well as fulfilling pretty good roles. I know that's not often the case, because what ends up happening is by creating new equipment that caters so specifically to a character or to some kind of niche, you end up excluding some, but I like the fact that you can now use these more generalized equipment in order to give characters new roles or have them fill out roles that already existed but that they didn't fulfill beforehand. For instance, and the one that I like for this is the arena cards in particular. Let's see if I can find one of them. None of these. My bad. I'm trying to find where one of them are. It seems they don't actually list the arena cards as a part of this, which is unfortunate. Huh. Okay, where do they expect it to be put then? I guess that's another note that I wish they would have some place where I could check all archives of the game and figure out what the cards are, or okay, let's see, card collection perhaps, and then we can do common, and then we can scroll down, and perhaps we can check based on, yeah, here we go, we can apply the filter. Oh, but it only shows the ones I've collected and it doesn't show the curse cards. So I guess that's a bit of another issue. Although I've seen some of these cards in runs themselves, and although I've used most, if not all of the curse cards that have come with the new update, I can't view any of them here. That's unfortunate. I wish I could talk about some of them and actually have them on screen when I wanted to talk about them, but I guess that's not going to be the case. As for Galactic Metal, not really sure just yet, because there's barely anything to talk about. The Nebula Distortion isn't done, so I've not wholly contributed to it. The challenge missions haven't been too bad, they're fairly standard. The Chaos itself, I like overall. Some of the new monsters have been quite interesting. I think the Vine Lord is maybe my least favorite in terms of difficulty so far, because he's quite difficult. Okay, I can't open the picture or any of his stats either. That's unfortunate. So, in other words, this enemy, whenever he's hit, will summon a stronger and stronger companion or follower, depending on the amount of times you have hit him within a turn, which kind of sucks. I also kind of understand it, but that doesn't mean that I like it. Also, turns out Gloomy Prime is still in this. I really don't like Gloomy Prime. He is still such a menace to most runs, and I've also found that some of the elites have returned again to this. I thought that there might have been more new elites, but they've been using some of the other ones that have existing chaos manifestations, although I do quite like the copycat ones, which take on the form of your own combatants. Those I think are pretty cool. The Toad also makes a return, of course. As for the bosses, we've kind of seen them before in other chaos manifestations, and the gear that is limited mostly to this, I think is pretty fine. I think some of them, as said, open up a couple of niches. I think, for instance, if an ally exhaust card is in hand and so on, that you gain fixed shield. I feel that these are a little bit too specific. I think this applies mainly to like 3 or 4 characters, which is okay, but I would like to see some more generics that you can slot onto characters without making other ones feel not obsolete, but a little bit less cared for. And that's why I was saying that I kind of wish that Season 1 had the ability to pass on all of its cards and its equipment. Although I understand these are seasonal, I think the issue with it is that the cards and the equipment that once catered to characters in Season 1 no longer show up, and so now when this attempts to empower the new set of characters, like a rotation, you unfortunately end up with the characters who were once empowered now being substandard as compared to the ones who are now empowered. It makes sense that you want to prioritize which characters you want to empower, but I really do think that it could be of benefit to make less played characters have this equipment anyway in order to carry them over, or at least allow some kind of exploration reward so that you can maintain some of the equipment or some of the items that you had gained across. Like, I think generic, so to speak, armor pieces like this, they're generic enough that it's useful, but at the same time I feel like it doesn't do much. A 6% critical chance is just 3 potential nodes out of 5 that you would get otherwise, and most of your critical chance is probably going to come from your equipment as well as your potential, and so this plays a very minor role, which makes me feel like I would probably never pick this up in a run. If I didn't have anything else to swap this out with, I probably wouldn't pick up this item. It's the same for a couple of these. So, for instance, if I take a look at this one, when a card is exhausted, increase the damage amount of allies by 10%, a single time per turn is barely marginal. And therefore, there are better items that are flat out good comparatively. If I were to look at this one, 10% fixed shield has no limit, and I can do this on critical attack. If I wanted to go for something that was exhaust as well, there are much better cards, for instance, or equipment. For instance, if I were to choose something like... when a card is exhausted, increase. So it doesn't even have to be on a conditional. There are just 2 items that do very similar things. I think that could have been partially improved. And I think some of the arena items, again, I wish I could show them on this, are much more interesting as mechanics-wise, or as mechanics goes. Now, in this time, over the past week, I've also been playing a lot of the new Zero system. The new Zero system has therefore changed in terms of how the upgrade system works. So now you've got 3 categories, and all of them have a final upgrade. I've yet to find out what the administrator one is, but I believe that it's the copying cards one. However, for the first one, the final repair or the final upgrade is the self-repair routine, which increases breakdown recovery chance, and the last one for this unlocks the new mechanic meditation. And then for this, I believe it's the choose one combatant that you would like to copy the cards of, and then it gives you a random choice between 3 of the cards that they have. So, very happy with some of these changes, and I've got to say, I very, very much like the new mythical codex. I like the new mythical codices. The mythical codices are really interesting because not only do they give you so many more resources upon completion, and that's how I've been able to get to level 59, because I've played maybe 2 or 3 of them, but they also have a unique mechanic at the beginning of the game, and in fact, we'll play through this one so that I can show. I've already got my team set up, and honestly, I've been really loving this setup. In fact, I like the setup so much, I'll do it live. I'll level up 9, plus 5 levels because she is just that good. I do genuinely like 9 a whole lot, and I'll give my thoughts as we play through. Because 9, has got so much versatility that she is very likely to be one of my favorites, one of my absolute favorites. Her versatility is maybe not unmatched, but she's got so much versatility in with which characters she can play with, as well as what kits benefit her. If you take a look at some of her cards and their epiphanies, at first it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of variance, but if we look at Hue and all of its variants, it works with creating shield, so she can be a buffer. It works with dealing really high amounts of damage, so she can be DPS. It works with quick generation via flash. It also works with Massacre if you need to do AoE damage, and it works with Ambush in case you want it to trigger off of counterattacks, so that you can trigger it every single turn. Now there is one peculiarity which I noticed while playing, and it's that sometimes, at least when I try to check with Flash, I think, it'll sometimes show up as give this card +2 Fortitude, or give this card +2 morale for a single turn. And I'm not sure why that shows up as an epiphany, because very clearly that's not one of the epiphanies here, which I think is another bug. Nonetheless, at least the meditation system is there if you really get bad with that, or get really unlucky with it. I think a lot of the other cards benefit really well as well. A little bit of a redundancy there with my speaking of it, but I think a lot of cards benefit plenty. So, for instance, with Experience Strike, you gain shield, but you can also change it, I think, at one of these. No, maybe not. I think I was thinking of the other one. With this card, it increases its damage amount of either your exhaust cards, or itself, depending on exhaust cards, or increases shield gain, or gives you counterattack. So already it has 4 different directions that it can go into. Yes, the other one is just a buffed version of its base damage, but I think the fact that it goes into the 4 subsets like Hugh was doing is really good with giving other characters purpose and not just her. Same goes with Fatal Strike. It's got multiple different uses that all are fairly unique, and I think this is not, so to speak, special to 9, but she executes it very well. So we've got her basic damage buff, and then we've got an increased damage buff to her defense, very straightforward, which is okay. Then we've got changing it to a skill so that it changes Hue to the highest level in hand. Then it can exhaust 2 other cards. Then it can also increase damage for each ally owning a counterattack. So you can go into 3 subsets yet again. I think this is pretty good because if we look at something like, or if we look at another character, a DPS character, let's say I take Yuki, and we look at her cards. Her cards, comparatively, even though they do kind of have their own subsets, this one just decreases cost each time it's used. This one is just a damage increase. This one is just a cost decrease. This one is just an extra attack. And this one is maybe the most special one, so to speak, because for each card of this unit drawn for 1 turn, plus 90% damage amount. That plays into her mechanics, but it doesn't play into other subsets of classes or builds that you may want to create, which is a bit unfortunate. And of course, Iceberg Cleave can't be changed. If we look at Trickery Strike, you'll see a similar pattern here, and we'll see increased damage, draw 1 card, enable Inspiration, and this is probably one of the more unique ones after the patch. Enable Inspiration for all cards of this unit in hand for 1 turn when using a card of this unit with an enabled Inspiration, plus 100% damage to a random enemy, so it'll attack separately. That one I think is really good. Then this is just a simple retrieve. Then this is just a simple choose 1 card in hand, activate Inspiration. So yes, while Yuki does focus a lot on Inspiration, comparatively from her to 9, 9 can focus in 3 to 4 different sub-strategies, whereas Yuki focuses a lot on either pure damage increase or Inspiration, which is her unique mechanic. And so I think that's unfortunate, and she's not the only case. This also happens with Haru as well, that some of her cards end up being very similar in terms of their functionality. Good morning, mate. Have you tried Flash 9? I have. I've played a lot of 9. I was actually just giving my thoughts. I think 9 is probably one of my favorite characters in terms of build variety. Also, nice to see you again, Toxin. How's it been? We can go over to 9. I was just talking about how I think her kit is really, really good. Her inspirations are also really good because they've got so much build variety. It's been so much fun to play with 9 in the team because I can always shift between strategies. And I was just using other combatants as an example, that some of them don't feel like they're as malleable. Show your decks? Yeah, I can show some of them. Though I can't show the ones that I've done the Divine Epiphanies for. So this is one of them, and then I've got if allies do not receive damage for 1 turn, at the start of the next turn increase damage amount by 50% for 1 turn, increasing damage amount to 2 cost higher cards by 25%, then using an attack card with 2 or more, give 3 agony. So it's pretty straightforward. Then Robe of Oblivion, when shield is gained through an exhaust card, increase damage amount by 20% because I'm playing her with Magna. So it's fairly okay. Also, this one triggers off of Ironclad, which was pretty good, and then I got Stockpile, so I can retain some for that. But this probably isn't my best one. I've got a whole bunch more, and then of course I can't show the Divine Epiphany ones because those disappear and save data isn't retained. But all in all, I think 9 is a lot of fun because, for instance, and just to quickly recap, most of her epiphanies go over completely different subsets of her playstyle. So Fatal Strike with its middle epiphany focuses a lot on attempting to get Hugh up and running, whereas this one focuses on exhausting cards, whereas this one focuses on counterattacks, whereas this one is a flat damage upgrade, and this one is a focus on exhaust cards. So already you've got 4 different facets that her deck can accompany, or can accommodate, which is really good. Same goes with Hugh, the fact that there are 5 different ways to play this. Why is your Faint Memory low? Haven't played much? No, because I didn't need to change some of the cards. I could have gotten rid of, but again, this was because I only did this on, I think, a low one. It would be nice if it showed a little bit more run information, but I've got like a couple here where I've done 110 points. I was showing because I've cleared, I think, level 10 of the event and so on, but I'm still just grinding out the 0 system because I wanted to try build a proper deck. So once I've got the 0 system built up more, then I'll probably do that. So I'm at level 10 for the Codex, and then I'll do level 11, but I've been having more fun with the 0 system and its divine interventions. So this was the one I was going to play for this stream, and then maybe I'll do another one. So actually, let's just get started. The 4th Fatal Strike requires a lot of AP. If you mean extreme, then yeah, because it's cycling through it 5 times, but I don't mind that so much. I think it's really good overall. Plus, if you're using... I have a deck around it, yeah. Plus, if you're using Fighting Spirits, it's like easily one of the best, I think. Increase shield gain amount by 200%. At the end of the turn, retain shield and inflict fixed damage to all enemies equal to shield out. This is just over. I think this is actually just over for the enemies. Quantum Collector. Selected combatant gains Epiphany. So I really, really love the Divine Epiphanies because they change up gameplay so much, and I think I'm a little bit biased towards them because the gameplay so far with the Divine Intervention feels kind of easy. So what the heck is that blessing? It's the new Divine Intervention system. So now you have a chance of getting a Mythic Rarity Codex, and those are meant to be extremely difficult codices. You only unlock them post level 10 Codex. So like level 80s to level 150. And they inflict a whole bunch of debuffs. I'll show you right after. We'll do this one, actually, because I don't think I'm going to struggle much whatsoever. Let's see. Let's check the run. Can I not? Okay. I don't think I can, actually. That's unfortunate. How do you get that? As said, you just merge codices until you reach Codex level 10, and then you have a random chance of getting it. It should be under a purple banner because it's of mythic rarity. The downside is that you don't get any save data from it, but it is way more difficult, and you get quadruple the amount of resources for completing it. So if I'm gonna run to the main event here. So I'm going to run bottom, and then I can show some of it. It's a really cool system because I think it gives you such unique fates. And honestly, I really like the unique fates that each of the characters have given. Good for grinding tree. Sort of. The issue is that with the upgrades and everything, it doesn't increase the amount of upgrade points or whatever that you get. You're still at a fixed amount. But overall, it's pretty nice because it gives you more of the orbs so that you can do more merges. It gives you more of those. I forget what the material is called, but it's for the monthly shop and everything where you can buy boss upgrade materials. I wish I could double check what my codex was, but unfortunately I can't show. Also, belligerence on Magna, probably a really good one. And then we'll do this, because I'm going to try get rid of as many attack cards as I can on 9. And then, unfortunate, but yeah, I'm going to try get rid of some of the attack cards as well on Ray. So we'll do shield here. It's just so cool that it's fixed shield and it's doubled, so it just deals an absurd amount of damage. So we can do this one. Belligerence doesn't trigger, but actually... Oh, never mind. It won't either way. Package parry, and then frost shield. Maybe belligerence was a bad pickup, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. I was thinking my deck might have been more balanced, but that doesn't seem to be the case. There was another one where if you took the Nihilum Divine Intervention, that you could increase all attacks by triple. Do you want to see my flash deck of 9? Yeah, sure, feel free to. We can remove one card. I think I'm going to remove this one from Magna. I could also remove Belligerence, but kind of don't need to. So we'll see how this goes. I want to remove as many of the attack cards as I can, because I think we're going to see a lot of attack cards anyway. And I want to be able to trigger Belligerence so that I can cycle through more of the shields. So maybe I'll go for like Ironclad Hue, and that would probably be pretty good. Here we go, we'll get a new Epiphany, and that's Ice Wall. Also kinda nuts. And then we can do this one. Yep, I don't need to exhaust my Hue card just yet. And then continue. So I don't fully know what kind of build I'm going for, but I think I'm gonna do some kind of shield build for this run. I think that would be pretty nice, just because it works so well with Dialos. And then the question ends up being, oh my gosh, there we go, jeez, 4 times. The question ends up being, how can I get 9 to build shield in that case? And then Ray is building up healing based on how much damage she deals, which is nice, but at the same time it's like unfortunate because then she needs to attack. So I'm not wholly sure how I'm going to get into this belligerence shield loop like I was hoping, but maybe... Okay, this should be fairly good. Then we can exhaust Hue, increase its level, and then we can... Okay, it drew another attack card, then we can do this. I don't need to heal, so it doesn't entirely matter. Then we've got Hue level 3, so it's lost its ephemeral status, and that's one thing that I'm really appreciative of as well, is that how Hue works is it allows itself to not be ephemeral or incinerate at the end of the turn whenever it reaches its max level, which is really nice. Also, don't need to use this card, but I'm just hoping to increase my chances of getting an Epiphany. I don't actually know what the rate of getting an Epiphany is. Let's check this. Oh, okay, it's just high resolution. Yeah, the crit rate, Divine Forge, then the mythic item. Yeah, that's a really good one. Got really lucky with the Divine Epiphany on the residual herb as well, actually. That one's good. Exhaust 2 random cards of other incombatants in hand for each card exhausted through this ability. Increase damage amount of the next attack card used by this unit by 30%. How did you find that one to be? Do you actually use that card well, or who do you partner her with? Because I feel like my issue with Fatal Strike's exhaust 2 random cards of other combatants is a little bit tricky, since most of the other combatants that you would probably pair her with, except for Tressa, end up wanting their cards. Luke. Oh, okay, and then you stack it on his bullets instead, I imagine? That makes sense if so. It's, while I'm not focusing on making a final deck just yet, because I want to try upgrade my Zero system to maximum, I think once I get to that point, then I'll focus on just grinding out for a good deck. But for now, I'm just enjoying the new Zero system changes. So let's throw the Gladiator's helmet on. Then, yeah, this is Luke's. Okay. Yeah, Veiled Thorn in the way, on-card retainer exhaust. Aha. Yeah, oh, 1 time per turn for each. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, so then you get exhaust on all of his bullets when you attempt to exhaust those. And then... okay, yeah, rapid fire. Nice, you managed to get 4 of them? That's pretty nuts. It's always so good to get... I do think they limited the amount of dupes that you can get, right? Oh, I've got unlimited dupes on Divine, though, so I can't check. But yeah, I saw in the patch notes that they had to limit the amount of dupes because people were getting more, or maybe they were going to have more events that would add more, so yeah. Tactical debilitation, 200% damage if the target has shield, 80% damage and 2 impair. I don't really need that. We'll do... oh my gosh, I'm running out of all my hourglasses. It kinda sucks. Titan combat suit can go on any of them. I think that should be fine. And then there's this one, another one? Or is this the same one? No, you scroll down. Okay. So create 2 handgun bullets, shield damage. I noticed that you don't have Luke's potentials, or on his unique cards, his potentials that high. But I guess you can always retroactively increase them. And then we also got the flashes of potential, which are pretty cool. So, yeah. The flashes of potential, being able to use them retroactively on decks you've already created is so nice. I'm really glad they made that a feature. Going to be interesting what more content they attempt to add it to, however, because they said, at least for now, that the 3 that we got as compensation for the updates, and then the 3 that are going to come out in the shop, are going to be completely limited by that. But anything afterwards is a little bit of anyone's guess, I think. So I guess we'll have to see. I mean, I'm hoping that we'll get more of them. Making great decks has become so easy. Yeah, honestly. It's become so much better, and I'm so happy for it, because it takes away the amount of time that you have to spend grinding. Like, yes, you do still have to play, obviously, but the amount of time spent grinding has been, like, way reduced because of all the randomness of the events and whatnot that you can encounter. So I'm quite happy with it, with how they've managed to implement everything. So yeah, pretty decent. I'm really happy with Season 2 so far. I think some of the main things I'd probably change is, of course, everyone's going to always wish for better translations and more accurate translations and whatever. But all in all, I think if there were something to improve on this one, it would be more decks like 9. I think 9 is such a good character for all of her stuff, like everything that she's got. Oh. Is my voice better now? I can't tell. But I did reset it. So hopefully it's better now. Also, Twitch is bugging out. It says there are 0 viewers. Gotta go, need to sleep. Okay, no problem. Have a good one, and take care. Good night. Nice. Good to know my voice is back. And A-okay. Ice Wall damage to all enemies equal to shield owned. Not a bad card, but I think because of how this is gonna work out, I'm gonna do this one instead. So I gain a bunch of shield because of the fates. And then we'll just continue playing through. Rocket Punch is going to trigger. Nope. Okay. Didn't even have to. When an attack card was not activated for 1 turn and the turn is ended, 1 Rocket Punch. Really good for Magna, actually, because if you just remove all of her attack cards, it triggers like every single time, or at least every other turn. So yeah, it's a little bit slow, but since it's scaling off of damage and it's so high damage anyway, not bad. I'm gonna throw on the, when drawing an exhaust card of this unit through an ally ability. Probably not gonna happen that often. I'm gonna throw on the upgrade onto the armor Lost Valor, and then we'll exit this. So far, the Divine Epiphany has not been too bad, and we've managed to go through an abnormal elite enemy, which is pretty good, I think. We'll run down here and we'll decrease stress, I think. Oh, never mind, it's unavailable. Should I do meditation? I'm kind of iffy about doing meditation right now. I mean, I'd only be able to change 1 card, so it doesn't really matter. Maybe I do, yeah, I guess I have to do training. And none of these. If HP is full, 30 credits. You know, I could probably do this onto, like, Ray, just so that I can get more money. Money. That's gonna be into... Oh, maybe I can get the morale card if I beat this guy. I wasn't initially intending to, and also my deck isn't gonna save, so maybe there's no point to doing this, but I really want that monster card again. It feels like it barely ever shows up as the main thing, though. Also, it would be really nice to get Ironclad for Hugh, so that I generate shield every single turn, instead of barely at all. Let's also do Ice Wall, and now I'll deal 1,400 damage. That's nuts! It's genuinely nuts! I really love this Divine Epiphany. Oof! And both of the fists activated. Very cool. Let's see. 9 getting her Fatal Strike Epiphany. Not bad. And then we'll do Glacial Iron Fist. Oh, I should have done that before. I thought it was gonna trigger earlier, but I guess not. Then we'll gain yet even more shield, and then it's dead. An absurd amount of damage. I mean, this Divine Epiphany is so good. It would be nice, I think, to kind of improve Dark Condensation. Maybe I should play Orlea, actually. I've been seeing that people say Orlea has been really good, so I'll probably do that for the next one, actually. I want to try out Orlea. I want to see how much better she is now, because she can trigger so many of her retain effects, and she doesn't focus so much on dealing damage. Decrease credits or decrease max HP. You know what? We've got so much shield, let's decrease max HP. I don't think that's an issue. When using 5 or more action points, damage amount, shield gain, and healing. I think... either we put this on Ray, I think we can put this on Ray, and then we can get something better for 9. So we'll try that first, then I think we'll do... I kind of want to do meditation just so that I can reshuffle Ray's Epiphany on her Dark Condensation, because yes, having draw is good, but costing 1 for that, I don't know, that kind of sucks. So, actually, Ice Wall. Oof! And we get a Divine Epiphany. Perhaps I was right. and it's gain 1 AP. Oh my gosh. I'm being spoiled. Okay. In that case, maybe that was the right answer. I could have done that earlier, but I don't know what affects the rates of a Divine Epiphany. I just kind of like the Divine Epiphany all in all. Okay, let's activate this on Magna, then we get anytime shield is gained, and then I think I'm going to try aim for a meditation roll on, what's it called, on Hugh, so that she can get ironclad. But for now, I'm going to remove, oh my gosh, okay, there we go. I'm going to remove material regeneration, I think, as a card, and then unfortunately, I don't have anything more. Let's do training. Maybe I can get something. No, I'm not too keen on these ones. Let's leave. Okay, and then it's the boss. Got here way faster than I thought, actually. So, not bad, not bad. Ice Wall, I think, is the best one here. Then we can do Strike of Darkness. Let's try reduce this guy's shield a little bit. And hopefully that should be good enough. Yeah. At least we got rid of the small little adds, which isn't bad. And then the counterattack's triggering. Then we can use Ice Fragments. Then I think we'll do Storm of Bitter Cold into... what was it? Ice Charge? Ice Wall? Frost Charge, that's it. That's exactly what I said. I got it right the first time. What? What do you mean? And then we'll get yet even more shield. And then deal even more damage, which gives me even more shield. I mean, we're just going above and beyond. Look at that. An absurd amount of damage. Plus the rocket punches triggering. Oh my gosh. It can only get so good. Let's see. Select and exhaust up to 1 cards in the draw pile, then draw for each one exhausted. Excuse me. Just drinking some tea. I think I'm gonna exhaust Hue so it becomes its final form. Then I'll trigger this. And swing! And then we'll do Frost Shield, just to build up a little bit more damage. Apparently crystallization affects before damage does, which is interesting. Here we go. Some extra credits. Then we'll do Glacial Iron Fist, because that's probably the best one I can do. And unfortunately didn't break through the shield, but here we're going to do a couple of counterattacks. And then the Rocket Punch. Nice. Yeah, I guess you could say I'm pretty good. And then we'll do Latent Epiphany. Hue, hopefully Ironclad. For 1 turn, gain 4 Fortitude. See, this is what I'm meaning. This is not actually an Epiphany that exists on the card, and yet it still shows up. You know what? Just for contingency's sake, I'm going to show. I might send in a bug report of this, because it's having this Epiphany that doesn't exist is kind of weird. Because you can check the page, it doesn't have this, like, non-Hue whatever here. So let's do Hue Ironclad, because it generates so much shield. Then let's copy a card, and I say we do Frost Charge, because you can never get too much shield, genuinely. Then we'll do extra attack damage. Ooh, actually, no, maybe I don't. I think that's fine enough as is, because I'm basically getting an extra attack. We'll put Viadeus's Reactor instead. So anytime an upgrade card is used, then I'll gain damage reduction. And see, we've already gone halfway, but we've already got 78 of these and 33, and it's a little bit lame, because I really wish I could grind for these resources even faster, but maybe it's just me being impatient, you know? Like, I really just want to have all possible upgrades already. At the start of the battle, all enemies gain +1 morale. Nope, I'm gonna get cheerful because I want more AP to play my cards. The arena is along the bottom one, and honestly, we could probably do multiple of the elites. I kind of want to fight more elites as well, because I don't think they stand a chance against me. Genuinely, this Divine Epiphany with Magna, I think because of Nine's versatility, she really makes some of the battles way easier, or some of the Divine Epiphanies way easier, because it's just so malleable. Like, if I were to play using... And I'll swap out to Orlea next time, as said, but I think if I were to play using 9 and Magna, I can basically get through 90% of content. They're just that good in combination. They're both just, like, facilitating each other's moves with every single card use. Unfortunately, the second Rocket Punch didn't work there, but we're already using Ironclad, or Hue, on it, so... That battle is over for. And then we've got Predator's Blade. Not too bad. It's just now it feels genuinely a little bit underpowered, but that might be because I have the Divine Epiphany. And then we'll do, yet again, I think, Ironclad to build up some shield, since we've got Permanent Retain. I don't think Rocket Punch is going to trigger. Yeah, because it only increases. Oh, and he just absorbed it anyway. That's fine, dude. You can do whatever you want, I suppose. I want to get the upgrade for Resonating Darkness that increases all of my shield and damage gains. That would be pretty nice. Let's see, what do we get with this one? I kind of want more damage. If Exhaust card is activated, +1 counterattack if a card was exhausted this turn. We'll do... Okay. It's either the middle one or it's the right one. And I think we'll do the middle one because I want to gain even more counterattack, because then 9 gains some counterattack and will then be able to, like, I don't know, punch a little bit, contribute a little bit. There we go. And now I can use Ice Fragment. We're going to use Financial Therapy here again. Yoink! Give me even more money. Money, 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 money. And it's just a ridiculous amount of damage. It really, really is. It's so much damage being dealt. Okay, and then we'll continue. And one right before. Maybe second method, extra attack, trigger Epiphany. Let's trigger an Epiphany to a random card, you know? I think that should be okay. 4 counterattack. No, we want even more crystallization so that we build up. I wonder if it's possible, though it might not be now, to make some kind of crystallization build, because it would be really cool to gain like an absurd amount of shield at the end of each turn. You know, even though I've not really lost a lot of HP or anything, in fact, I haven't taken damage whatsoever. 9's stress is really high, which is a little bit annoying, because apparently everything has been considered as, what's it called? Everything has been considered as neutral areas so far, which means that they all have, oh, okay, I could nearly destroy, which means that they've all been gaining stress for going to non-combatant areas, which is a little bit unfortunate, but here we go. We still end up blocking everything, and we Rocket Punch, and we Rocket Punch, and we're done. Oh my gosh. Rocket Punch is nuts. In fact, it doesn't even need to trigger every single turn if it's just going to trigger that many times in general. If I do... Okay. I can do Glacial Iron Fist, and then I can do Dark Blade on this pile here, and maybe I'll get, like, some kind of shield or something. No, it just removed Vulnerable. And then 2 Rocket Punches, yet again. Okay, and now I've got Shield Blast. So we'll do Pierce, we'll do Shield Blast, and then we'll do Ice Wall, and then we'll do Frost Shield. And that's nearly enough to just get rid of him outright. Also, there's no cap to the amount of shield. I think this is the first time I've seen my shield be this absurdly high. Like, it's just encompassing my entire health bar. I can't wait to get to, like, way harder content. If damage is completely blocked at the start of the next turn, create 1 Shield Blast. Immediately, yes. Immediately, yes. That is such a good card. Unfortunately, it does kind of reduce the efficacy of Rocket Punch, because now it's not going to happen every single turn, but it's a little bit more reliable because it doesn't care anymore. Increase shield gain amount by 15, and see, I don't know if this is 15% because heal amount is 15%, or if it's just literally 15 anytime I gain shield, which does suck, but honestly, I'm gonna go for it, because 15 plus shield gain is a lot, all in all. I feel like people underestimate just how much 10% actually is, because what ends up happening is that the cards scale. So the cards, when they scale, gain not only the amount of... oh shit, 9 is going to go into mental break here. Yeah, that's a new thing that's been added by the patch. Whenever you go above the limit, you absolutely can go into mental break during non-combat encounters now, which is really, really dangerous. And, oh, immediately, immediately got out of it. It was the second card, but you know what? I'm not too upset by that. Then we'll do 2 of these vulnerable ones. Unfortunately, it's 2 burns, but we do have 1300 shield. So, pretty good, pretty good. We could do, and I think we will do, Ice Fragment. Then I'm gonna do Predator's Blade. Then I'll do Glacial Iron Fist. And even though I am gonna take damage, it is gonna reduce my shield by an amount I do not like. So... okay, he's only attacking twice, and then I'm gonna do Rocket Punch anyway. Apparently I don't have any counter, so that's a little bit awkward. LOL. We'll do Financial Therapy, because I want even more money, 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 money. Then we'll do Blizzard of Cold, or whatever it's called. Then we'll do Shield Blast. And then, yeah, I think we've only got Dark Blade. We can pull via Belligerence and just, like, filter out some on my deck either way. So, yeah, there we go. I mean, just nothing stands in my way as a result. So what do I want to swap out? I think I could swap out Slash? It would be nice if I could check the card details before I go into this, but... yeah, I think I'm going to swap out Slash instead, so that way it turns into Heavenly Judgment. Because the punishment is really good at just, like, completely removing shield. So if I check the card description for punishment, it's a unique effect to this map, so to speak, I think. Yeah, so when shield is gained, 200% fixed damage to all allies and decrease punishment by 1. So it affects their entire team. And that's only 1 punishment, and it triggers 3. That's pretty good. It basically, well, while it doesn't remove the ability of enemies to shield, it does make it a whole lot easier to prevent them from shielding properly, if they were to gain any shield. Also, I don't know how I got another AP there. Okay, we'll do Heavenly Judgment, Inflict Impair onto this one. Maybe I should have done it to the right one. Since I'm going after that one next. But yeah, then we do a couple of counterattacks here, and now it's dealing damage to all of them. Not bad, not bad. We'll do Shield Blast, and then Glacial Iron Fist. He's then gonna... no, okay, he's not. So then we've gone up to 1,000, and now that's just gonna wipe him. So I don't even need to care about this now. Then I can reduce his shield a bit. And honestly, if I wanted to, I could use Ray's ability, but I'm going to hold on to my ego points for as long as I can, because I don't know if this is actually going to get difficult, but in the case that it does, I'm ready. I'm ready for anything. So we'll do a couple more Frost charges. Unfortunately, I can't use anything else, and then we'll just use Belligerence. Yeah, my Ironclad is kind of sticking me there. Latent Epiphany is, oh, Nihilum. 2 vulnerable to the target. I kind of think for each ally owning counterattack might be good, but yeah, I think it's because it's a cost 1, I'll go for that, because I want more cards to be able to activate, and then when an upgraded card is used, 100% fixed damage. Yeah, since that's the only one 9 doesn't have a slot for, we'll go for that. Then we'll continue to the unknown area, and then I want to do the elite as well. Corroded Core. If an attack is perfectly blocked with shield, impaired to all enemies for 1 turn. You know what? I think that's actually better. Yeah, damage reduction doesn't matter so much. There we go. Corroded Core. Throw this onto Magna. So now, anytime she fully blocks, we've got impair, we've got damage, we've got a card created. It's nuts. It is nuts here. Also, I would have thought that I would have to use meditation in order to increase or get the ironclad skill, but apparently not. I've just been really lucky with all my card epiphanies so far. Not like I haven't gotten bad ones, but all my essential cards are using the exact epiphanies I would want. We can do snack time into exhausting hue. Hopefully we draw... Okay, we drew some more frost shield, then we can use slash. And then now it's going to deal 2,600 damage. Okay, right after, so maybe 2,300 damage. Yep, there we go. It is kind of nuts. Like, genuinely. Oh my gosh. Then let's use these two upgrades. We'll even use the Shield Blast. So Shield Blast here. I'm wondering if it's worth going for Frost Charge. It seems to be put at... Yeah, it's actually better to do Hue Ironclad here. We gain more shield from it. And that seems to be fine. Now it's 3,000. Goodness. So much shield. And then Rhea is going to have a breakdown. Unfortunate, but okay. 4 of her cards. We were not okay. And he's going to be beaten to death because he decided to do a multi-attack. Yeah, kinda sucks to suck. Not my problem, though. Not my problem. Critical chance of cards with cost 0. That doesn't affect anyone. Remove that. No need to include that. Okay, and then we're already at the halfway point? Oh my gosh. Whoa, it actually coincides with nearly the halfway point. Crimson Veil. Hello, welcome, welcome. How are you doing? I'm just playing some Chaos Zero Nightmare. I'm giving my thoughts on the Divine Epiphanies, as well as talking about 9, because oh my gosh, 9's kit is really good. Right now this run is also going pretty well. I've gotten kinda lucky with some of the epiphanies that I got for 9. Singing Sword, wait, Twisted Disciple. When using 10 or more action points plus 2 immunity. When dealing damage to a target with shield 1 punishment. That's actually really good. Oh, and we did it. What's up? Yeah, not much. Doing pretty good otherwise. How about you? How are things? A fan of CZN yourself? Or have you got 9, perhaps? But yeah, I'm doing pretty good otherwise. I mean, I don't know. I've just been obsessed with this game for like the past week or so. And yes, I can see your chats, but this seems like a bot. I've been obsessed with this game for a good while now. So, it's, yeah. I don't know how to go about it besides saying, like, all of my free time, if I could, I would be pouring into this game because, geez, it's just everything I could want from a deck builder roguelike. So... yeah, I'm also beginning to think that, which is a shame because, like, I don't know, people seem to tune in and out, and I can't tell what keeps them averse, you know, Kaya? So, it's unfortunate. You know, eventually I'll get those shorts put out, and then hopefully I'll have more people tuning in for streams, like when I'm doing my Devil May Cry one, because I think, and I gotta be honest, I think my Devil May Cry streams are quite fun. I use these ones as like my comedy or source of relief one when I'm talking about other things. So yeah, maybe it's like my Zatsu. Financial therapy into drawing even more gold. And then I don't think I need to do Predator Blade for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I think you love DMC more too. Oh my gosh, are you a fan of DMC now? What the hell? You stream daily. I do stream daily. It's just what I do. You know, even if like the engagement isn't, is fake rather, it still gives me something to talk about, you know, Kaya? So, I don't know if I, wholly mind. You think so? Would you consider yourself a fan of DMC now, since I've been streaming it? Kill it? We'll see, we'll see. We'll see. Give the Clanker a chance! We'll give the Clanker a chance, please! I don't know. If you would consider yourself a fan, but if we're going through every single, it's delusion, I I know. There we go, it's gone now. Lay sigh. It was even giving us, like, fun questions. Fun questions for me when I was talking about, like... And I think I am, especially because of Virgil Sama. Are you kidding? Virgil, not Dante? What the... This can't be. Glacial, not the chatter, the character. Yeah, don't worry, I know what you mean. You might have made Virgil blush if he thought it was him you were talking about. Oh my gosh. And then... Yeah, because if I'm going to be streaming through every single one of the... Oh wait! I've hit the maximum limit. You can only have double your HP in shield. Oh my gosh. I didn't even know that was possible. Never mind. Yeah, here we go. Very cool. And then we end turn, and it's just gone. He's just deaded. Oh my gosh. What's wrong with Dante? And, I don't know, you've yet to see what Nero is like, so, you know, you can hold off for a bit and then see who your favorite character is. But what do you like about, he does unnecessary stuff? All of it is necessary! It's necessary to him being fucking awesome and cool! What? What do you mean? What do you mean unnecessary? That's so mean. I can't believe you'd say that. But yeah, just wait until you see what Nero is like, and if you like him, then you can always self-insert as his girlfriend, I guess. I really like all of the cast, honestly. I'm trying to think if there... Oh, right, in 5, there's V as well. You can Google V, but just don't look into any of his lore or anything like that. He's a character added in 5. So... 3 introduced the ability to play as Lady, and I think... No, I think you still got... Wait, I actually don't remember. I don't think you got to play as Virgil in 2. Maybe I'm wrong, though. Does Virgil ever have a GF? No, he doesn't, because he doesn't care. He's a demon, so he just, like, does not care whatsoever. Yeah, so... Dante, I don't know. I don't know if it's right to say that he tries to date or not, because he doesn't really. It's more like he ends up not dating, but he kind of gets with girls, maybe, because there's Trish, there's Lady, and then I don't know if Nico is related whatsoever to getting together with Dante. He will have to care about me. I think he cares more about killing his demonic twin brother. Because he too is a demon. And they need both of the pieces in order to open up the gates to hell. Hello! Welcome, welcome, welcome. How's it hanging? We're just talking about some DMC. And, I don't know, Kaya's saying like, oh, that she's a Virgil simp and whatnot now. But she's not even met 2 of the other main male protagonists from the future games. So, I don't know. Right? Of course, right? yeah, typical. I don't know, DMC has just got so many good characters that it feels like if you haven't seen all of them, it's really difficult to pick out who your favorite one is. So I'd kind of say wait and see if you like Nero or V more. I can have limitless simp material? Okay. I don't know about that one. And this is like on top of, I don't know, if you've got DMC for simp material, then I have Chaos Zero Nightmare. I love this game, dude. We can trigger Epiphany to Glacial Iron Fist. Hopefully it triggers to all of them? Or it deals the damage to all of them, maybe? For 1 turn, Retain Shield doesn't matter because I'm on Divine Epiphany. So, unfortunate. Or Divine Intervention, I mean. But yeah, if you haven't already, check out, well, you did Google Nero, but check out V as well. Just don't read the story or anything like that, like a biography or whatever exists of him. Maybe you'll like V? Maybe? He's a long black-haired guy that shows up in the 5th game. Though I don't know what his theme song is, actually. So I've not played 5, you see. I've only listened to its soundtrack, so I only know the characters, like, vaguely, and through some of the lore drops that have been made. So that's not half bad. Also, let's try... This time I'm playing Quarantine Zone. Last check with you on second monitor. Have you heard of the game? I have heard of Quarantine Zone. I actually wanted to maybe play it because I saw that there was a Twitch integration for it. Could be fun to have people who drop on by or even who lurk the chat to show up as characters in the game. Though I want to play more games with Twitch integrations that do fun things like that, or manually add it to a game if I can. Yeah, lol. Yeah, exactly. I think it would be just, I don't know, it's just like a cute thing to have in your game. Like, oh yeah, Twitch chat shows up inside the game. That would be not half bad, you know? Let's also re-epiphany this. Shield amount? No. Okay. Man, I thought I would get something better. But that's, yeah, Shukai. I don't know if I'll do that. I mean, being held at gunpoint? Also, let's see if I can unlock some more of this stuff. I want to decrease. I've never completed this optional event, I think. Oh, yeah, here we go. Whoa, 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 whoa. Gothic boy. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I said you haven't seen all of the characters yet. You should at least look at V and maybe see if you like him. He's emo boy. He said see you later boy. And, you know, maybe you'd like him. But I guess you like his design by that reaction, so I think I was right. I think you should begin listening to me more often. It seems that me as a streamer, I have the privilege of always being right. So, we'll get to him eventually. The only V I love is Cyberpunk 2077 V, female. Yeah, hehehe. Okay. Maybe it's because now I have justification of being on stream, but maybe eventually I'll do a Cyberpunk playthrough. I know this is another game to the backlog, but Cyberpunk 2077 playthrough, I don't know how much I would be able to show. Hell yeah. Yeah, there's so many games that I want to play, just so little time. Like, I want to do reviews of some games, I want to obviously play like my gacha games and whatnot still, I want to get through just all of it. I want to get through all of my games, man, but there's so many, and I'm still playing through DMC, like 2 hours every single day trying to get through it. But yeah, censoring stuff might be a problem in that game. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, I don't know how other people go about playing that game without having to censor stuff in it, because, what, you can see, like, full package sometimes? I don't know, and it's a little bit like GTA with the, I don't know if I want to call it, like, salacious, but, more like risque content. There probably might be nudity toggle. I hope so, because that would have to be a requirement for me streaming it, you know? I don't think Twitch and YouTube take so kindly to any kind of nudity, whether it be, I think only artistic or educational counts. I think that's true. I think you can only have artistic and educational nudity on YouTube, so if I were to play Cyberpunk 2077, I would not be able to play it without some kind of filter or toggle on that at least censors it. I know Rust has something like that, right? So, maybe we'll have to see. Oh, this is the last shop before... okay. I mean, I'm gonna win this guaranteed, so it doesn't really matter. I can remove my other slash here. And then do I need anything else? Not really. I could get a new accessory, but honestly, it doesn't really matter. Let's do meditation and try re-roll something. I kind of want to try re-roll counter blades so that I can get activates once per turn. That would be really nice. Yeah, increased shield gain amount. 1 AP, not really worth it. Honestly, this one is just really good. How dare you pull up for 9, get her, and flex on me? Welcome back, Kirigami. Yeah, well, you see, it's not entirely flexing because I did hit hard pity, and I did fail the coin flip. So, I don't know. I played over 500 hours of Cyberpunk. You'll have a professional over here. Professional, but can't tell me if whether or not there's a nudity setting. I don't know if I believe you. Yeah. But, man, if you've not got 9, you're missing out. Wow, 9 is such a cool character. No, but I was talking earlier about how I really like 9 because she feels like one of the few characters that actually has a lot of, what's it called? Different routes you can take her build in. So, for instance, with most other characters, they only have a couple. Whereas, like, Yuki will focus a lot on inspiration and card draw, so that's really just one subcategory. Like, either with her epiphanies you increase damage or you focus on her inspiration, but with 9 you can focus on counterattack, you can focus on shield, you can focus on dealing really high amounts of defense-based damage. Like, there are so many different things that you can do. Also, how is this possible? I've just been getting the absolute worst draws right now. Yeah, because I want to see everything. I don't know about censoring. Yeah, well, maybe you're not as much of a master as you thought then. Have you ever considered that? So, that's, interesting. I guess we'll have to see. Oh, and then we'll do 2 ironclad. And here we go. Now I'm finally getting a little bit into some of the good card draw. It's just, I don't know. I wasn't getting such good card draw because this Divine Epiphany is like required. There we go. Increase. Like, the activate once per turn is such a good card. It's ridiculous. And then we go into Frost Shield and then Strike of... Wait. I could do another Ironclad here. I think I'm going to do another Ironclad just so I can get yet more shield. There we go. And I think I'm going to be able to wipe them next turn. I'm going to declare... Don't. You can't do that to me. 9 is just so good. I can't help but gush about her. She's such a great character. Got so many different cards and playstyles that she can utilize. So... I'm a master, such a master that censoring is useless to me. Well, I have to unfortunately abide by rules, so I can't, I have to abide by those. That means it ain't okay for me. And I think this guy is just Jover because of some counterattack, so... It's over, Brown. I have the high ground. True! And there we go, that's the Divine Intervention complete. Wow! Yeah, it's really not as difficult, and honestly, we don't need any one of these. Also, not going to affect a single thing, so we'll just trigger this, increase shield amount, 12% critical damage. Not really a great roll, but, you know, it's something. So... We'll see. I want to see how many more Codex levels I get as a result of this. That's going to be nice. Because I just want to fill out and upgrade the... oh my gosh, I got 600. Yeah. There we go, exploring new coordinates, and none of them. Oh, I wanted more divine interventions. Come on. Maybe we'll take, I don't know, all of these kind of suck. I'll do this one, but I'm just going to re-roll it. So now we've got 1 in Kirken, 1 in Diolos, and 1 in Nihilum. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Then for upgrades, I'm still going to focus on this one. And then, oh, we need 70? Eesh. I just want to get the pick which combatant you want to copy cards from. Okay, from level 59 to 74, not half bad. Reward info. Apparently I discovered some more stuff as well. Now we're 1 away from unlocking the Grey Orb. Ah, very interesting. Okay, we're gonna re-roll this one. Don't show again. And then, please, yes, we've got a Divine Intervention here. Diolos, it's actually for orders, so this works really well with 9. We've got Swamp of Judgment. Cannot rest in safe zones. Yeah, it doesn't actually matter. We'll do this one. Nice. We've got our next one. And then, as I mentioned, we're going to swap from Ray to Orlea, because Orlea seems like she's gotten a bit of a buff, and I actually haven't spoken much about what her kit looks like now. Let's see. We've got for her cards. Yeah, they've swapped this out now, so now it's 50% chance based on healing. Oh, actually, I haven't upgraded Arwen whatsoever. We can swap to... Oh, never mind. Assign defense increase by 12. At the end of the battle, recover 3. I think Ponpoko is actually the best one for this. So we're just gonna upgrade this real quick. You guys aren't seeing anything. I legitimately thought that I had more levels in Arwen here, but I guess not. So we're just gonna raise his level a bit more. Raise his level! And then... Here we go. Promote. Man, Sister Brown is fending for their life right now. What on earth? I'm not liking the look of this chat, guys. That's, Okay, Orlea healing by 10%. Critical chance of combatants. So these two are just supports. They're very okay. We'll try Orlea. I mean, for sure. 9 is going to be super good here. We've got quadruple the amount. Crystal of Discord. That's what's being quadrupled in terms of amount of the drops. I don't consent on being harassed. Yeah, Kirigami says he's consent. What? What's wrong, Brown? Just roll with it. And it should be fine. Okay. So I think this is the team that we'll run with. I've not played with Orlea, but we are doing a Divine Intervention, which is why I'm unable to acquire save data. And it's also by default on Nightmare mode. So that means more Epiphanies. But I wonder, because I've not gotten 2 of the exact same Divine Interventions at the same time, I'm wondering if this gives me a different fate, or does this give me the same one? Okay, no, it's the same one. 200% shield gain and retain shield fixed damage to all enemies equal to the amount of shield held. So, yeah, it's okay. I at least like it. Select combatant gains 1 Epiphany, or neutral legendary card, or remove 2 cards. I kind of want to do Epiphany because I think that's more important to try and get as many of Magna's cards as possible. Yeah, Frost Charge is a perfect one, because I'm going to be focusing a lot on getting more shield gain again. Yes, it's a little bit of a similar build to last time, but you know what? At least I swapped out Orlea. On winning a normal battle in a normal area, there's a 30% chance of a random rare to legendary grade equipment to appear as a reward. We'll do Mistreatment because gaining more credits as a result of just exploring is really good. Now let's check where the Colosseum is. It's over here. Seems like there's only one way to go. Keep on grinding, bro. I got my 0 sugar Coke. Yeah, I'm still trying to get the 0 system to be maxed out first before I begin grinding decks, because I think the main issue I'm having is that I'm just unlucky. I'm just so unlucky whenever it comes to getting the right cards that I need or want, and so I want to ensure I have all the possibilities and chances that I need and requires. So I'm trying to get this one that's like, if you have, what's it called? If you select a combatant, you can copy 1 to 3 of their cards randomly, but it's at the end of the admin research tree. I forget what it's called, but yeah, it's one of those. So, bro, just gamble, man, be like, Hakari, yeah, I don't know, it's just a lot of time. I just want to grind it out, but also, I'm getting so many orbs from this. I'm gonna be fully decked out with Orbs of Discord and everything, so it's not all bad, it's just slightly bad. Let's see as well, we got 2 sturdy, but we can also just do it to gain shield, and actually, I think we'll do this, because I think this just wins me the battle. Yeah, there we go. Divine Intervention has some crazy good card effects. But now I know as well that each for one turn when an exhaust card is activated, gain 1 counterattack. I think I now know as well that 2 damage reduction, 1 shield. I think we'll do gain 1 AP is probably the best one. So it only costs 1 technically, but requires you to play it earlier. Domain expansion, Rampage Baby Oil. I mean, that's just insane. Yeah. Random Epiphany, or decrease credits, then gain Epiphany. If in that hand at the end of turn. I just, I don't want to, well, okay, let's use this one. And then I'll get an Epiphany. Now I'm hoping that I can get Ironclad as well. Curse of the Fairy, Exhaust 2. Yeah, it's not too bad. No pun intended. I actually don't need to reroll any Epiphanies yet, so let's go for this one. I don't think I can rest as well in this Divine Intervention. We'll do Frost Charge, and then we'll do Glacial Iron Fist, and we'll go all the way up to 912. Oh my gosh. That is a ridiculous amount of damage. Then we can also go into Ice Wall, and then Frost Shield, and now we're rocking with 1800, and I think if I get a crit, ooh, just barely. Yeah, just barely. I was hoping that I could get a crit and then I would win. Oh, never mind. Counterattacked one for me there. Yep, it ain't easy being cheesy. So whenever hitting a target under weakened status, I think this one should go to 9. Honestly, with how much I've been enjoying 9, I'm wondering if I should roll for dupes for her. But at the same time, I'm waiting for the next unit because that cat girl that controls time seems pretty good. Warn with a Lie or Wager with the Poacher. Let's just go with the credits. I've got no more Sands of Time for today, so I'm not gonna bother. Also, Sands of Time, or whatever they're called, Hourglasses? Hourglass of Time? Reminds me so much of, what's it called? The song from Metal Gear Rising, so Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, of course. Are you an elf lover or a succubus lover? Ooh, difficult question. It depends on what Monster Girl lore you're going with, because if we're going by like MGE, I think I would maybe go with succubi. But if we're going like with most other lore, say for instance Monster Musume, then I would probably go with elves. Especially if we're going with that one show about elves needing to lose weight. That one's kind of funny. So I would go with that. Elves in maybe other lore, and then succubi and some other ones. So it's context dependent. Let's see. Oh, dice roll 14. Decrease all combatant stress. Let's oh wait, no, I don't want to do that. I nearly rolled that. Oof, and first try. Also, how about you, Kirigami? Which one do you prefer? Counterblade is a good one. Now I'm hoping that I can get the activates once per turn and Ironclad. And that would be such a good combination to get together. Frost Shield just now because I can. Then we'll do Sacred Sensor. And then, actually, I think doing Slash might be better. What type of elf are we talking about? Light Elf, Dark Elf, High Elf? Have you heard of the High Elves? Of course you haven't. Who am I kidding? Elf types. I would kind of think Dark Elves if we're going by like anime ones. I really like Dark Elves. Frost Charge. Am I still gonna take damage despite this? Wait, what? Frost Charge? Okay, well, let me check. Let's check my played deck. Oh no, it's removed the shield from it. I didn't even realize. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's use this. Now I get the shield. Then we'll do attack, I suppose. It didn't generate a card. And then we'll gain even more shield. Have you been to the Cloud District very often? What's my saying? Of course you haven't. Oh, Grand Champion! Oh, Grand Champion! Yeah. I love the dialogue in the old Elder Scroll games. They're so funny. Halt! You violated the law! And then there was Skyrim's, I'm going to have to stop you to ask that shouting. It's scaring people. So good. I know that they like got all of their voice acting done by what is essentially a room of people, but I think it makes just it just makes it that much charming, you know? Now the Zero Mortal Plan begins? What Zero Mortal Plan? What? Uh-oh. Whoop. Guys, what is he talking about? Curse of the Fairy, if in hand at the end of the turn, decrease... okay. We're probably gonna have to use this, then we'll use Storm of Bitter Cold, and then we'll use Sacred Censer. I'm kind of hoping that I can eventually get some more shield. Create one of each creation. We'll trigger this one, Colonel Hamburger. And, okay, I should have probably held on to one of my AP, I think. But I think the Divine Intervention increases my stress if I were to hold on to my AP, so, you know, it might have been fine. Then we'll do Frost Shield. I do need to get rid of Frozen Fist as well, but we'll use this. And now we're at 600, so it's going to deal some fixed damage. Unfortunate that it does get rid of all the free cards I generate from the weapon pile just because my fixed damage activates at the end of the turn, and then it just reshuffles into my deck. Okay, so let's do this one as well, then we'll do Sacred Censer. Hopefully I can get... No, I got Softy. To shape existence into the more beautiful utopia it was always meant to be, the mistaken mortals would be corrected. Okay. You know what? I'm on board. Who's not on board with everyone looking beautiful? You know? I want to be pretty as well. I want to be so pretty and cute. I think that's fine. Guys, I don't see much issue with this, actually. This should be okay. Then we'll do Frost Shield. And then, honestly, yeah, we'll do a heal. Okay, Softy's getting third one, really? Man, maybe Orlea wasn't such a great pick for this. But then again, was Ray any better? I don't know. Ray has a lot of cards that, like, are pretty good, but in order to work with, what's it called? In order to work together with 9, a lot of conditionals have to be met. If that card is a Softy, 2 vulnerable to all enemies. If that card is a Swifty, trigger the retain effect 3 times. I think I'm going to do this one. And then we're going to trigger Softy twice. There we go. Very nice, very nice. And then we're going to do Black Shield Parry. And... man, okay, we'll do this. We'll see if we can get some items from this one. Heavy Blow and Pierce. And then at least we can get rid of one enemy. And that's not too bad. I'm thinking we can still do a little bit more. Yeah. Man, 9's animation as well is just so stylish. Like, genuinely. Pierce each odd turn? Yeah. We'll do this one. Divine Intervention as like a codex is a little bit tricky because while I keep thinking about it as if I'm going to have my deck by the end of it. But you can really just play this as, oh, I'm not going to have any of my stuff. Just remove as many cards as possible. Just thin out your deck as much as possible. So, on counterattack, 100% fixed damage to all enemies. I think... this one's always going to trigger. This one is... oh, well, that's also once. On Retainer, exhaust 100% fixed damage to a random enemy 1 time per turn for each. That's also once per turn. So I think I'm going to do this one because it's going to trigger on all enemies. Whoa. Kirigami, that is a position to be looking at things from. Wanting to shape the world into one's image. Well. If anything, I think we just need to begin introducing monster girls to the world. That's If I had the ability to, I would. So, you can count on that. Okay, I don't get Storm of Bitter Cold, but I'm going to use Ice Wall here. And then I think they're gonna attack like once or twice, and then, yeah, there we go. I don't even have to worry about the other damage points on this. I still haven't gotten Hugh to level up, though. That's annoying. We'll use Fighting Spirit to at least trigger Hugh. Then... no, attack my minions into experience. I should have used Slash. Whoops. I should have used Slash, then I should have gone into Hugh. But, you know, it's not wholly gonna matter. I think I'm still gonna be fine. Because, man, this Divine Intervention's buffs are absurd. Oh, and here we go, Divine Epiphany as well. Oh, but this is Retained Shield. No! I didn't mean to click that one! Oh, no! I'm gonna have to reroll that at camp as well. Okay. I don't think we've made any nightmare inventions, though. It's not as if we live in the world of Berserk is the thing, you know? So I think we're probably doing fine, Kirigami. This sounds more like the premise to some kind of dystopian apocalyptic novel. So I think we're doing pretty okay now, maybe. I mean, so long as we can get, you know, cute monster girls to be around, yeah, I think we're good. Okay, Ironclad. I didn't even have to reroll for it. Very nice. And then, okay, we'll have to go for this one. It seems like it's the best one out of them all, honestly. And for equipment, we'll swap out this one on 9. And then we'll go with credits. And there are 2 camps here, which I'm thinking we'll use for both meditation. And then for removing cards, I think I'm gonna get rid of attack my minions so I don't accidentally use it. Okay. And then meditation, and I'm going to reroll the Divine Epiphany on this one because it exhausts, which just... Oh wait, but it would be better to reroll Frost Charge. So let's reroll Frost Charge so that it gives me my shield again. Here we go. For each enemy. You're the berserk this world is made. What does that mean? Does that mean that you're going to recreate the events of the eclipse? I hope not. Because that would actually put us in a nightmare apocalyptic scenario. Nope. I don't want that. I don't want the eclipse to happen. And then we'll use Sacred Sensor. Hopefully I can get... No. Oh, actually I can. But does it matter? It kind of matters. I mean, there we go. We'll just trigger it anyway. I mean, using it first and fast to deal more damage per turn is probably the better outcome of the two, rather than holding on to it, because I'm already at maximum HP. Like, I'm at full HP, there's no need to heal anymore, and it's not like I can gain overshield. If anything, that should be an item of some sort, that whenever you heal, you gain overshield. But maybe I'm just, like, being overly hopeful. Boing! There we go. 2,000 shield. Insta-killed. Man, Divine Intervention is nuts. I'm hoping that I can now use meditation to shuffle the attack cards that I have, yeah, here for Glacial Iron Fist. Hopefully I can get it attacks every enemy. Yeah, or 500%, but I don't know. These are both really good. Eeny, meeny, miny, you. Okay. Then let's see. Oh, I could, yeah, I think I'll do this one so it activates my lead card in hand, and then maybe I can get something on discount. No. Never mind. Also, you don't have to do that, Kirigami. You don't have to reset everything to 0. Re-zero? That reminds me of another very big franchise that I quite like. Selected combatant gains one epiphany, forcefully obtain Curse of the Fairy. Let's get equipment. I've got a lot of cards and whatnot. Fixed shield. Okay, yeah, we can throw this on Orlea. I'm sure there are better ones that we can get later on for 9 and Magna, so I don't want to have to replace them later. Unfortunately, I am walking in here with like 0 credits though. And we can do training, I suppose. Maybe I'll get something good. 200% and crystallization. Maybe? I don't know, crystallization being 20% fixed shield, I don't feel builds up fast enough because with this Divine Epiphany, crystallization is seemingly unaffected since it's using fixed shield, which means that even if I were to gain a whole bunch of fixed shield, it's not, well, gonna do anything. Also, only one enemy, which is kind of what I excel at. Excel spreadsheets at. Now let's trigger this. Swifty, okay. I don't know. I kind of want the ability to not pick up Swifty. I don't have to reset all of it, just watch me reboot the system. It's like when it says press any button to continue and you hit the power button. Whoa. He might literally be me. Okay. Let's do... I think we'll do this and then we'll trigger the card twice. There we go. I know Swifty's barely gonna do anything anyway, so this is the best I can do with it. There we go, fixed damage. And now we've got Ironclad level 3. Yes. Very nice, very nice. Does this apply? Yes, it applies vulnerable. There we go. Boing! 9 is so good, dude. Here we go. And then I can get up to, I think, 4,000. It's double my HP. So about 5,000 shield. That's gonna be nice. We can do Glacial Iron Fist. And then I can do... Oh man, I thought that was the other one. No, never mind. Let's do Fatal Strike. Oh, so close. But that is 3,000 AoE damage per turn. At like no extra cost. Frost Charge. I think Frost Charge is probably better here. Just because of the Divine Intervention. We'll take Fairy King's Crown because that one's really good. We'll throw the critical chance on Magna for the potential to deal multiple critical counterattack hits. And then we continue. Now it's the interior. Man, I can't believe we've managed to get all the way to the interior with like no issue whatsoever. Drawing one extra card is probably the best one out of here because I don't think I'm gonna be below 50% HP often, so that AP bonus is not gonna affect me. We'll go up and around here. Also, I was thinking when I'm fighting those abnormal enemies that are meant to drop more orbs, do they drop more upgrade materials as well? I've no clue. I kinda hope they do, but then if they do, I'm gonna be sad because then I realize I've been like half avoiding them, half missing out on them. So... don't know. Okay, initiation lead at the start of the turn, create 1 creation cards. Yep. Okay, activate this, experience strike. Now I'm going to... Okay. They're all just attacking me. That's kind of annoying. There we go, and now I'll get rid of him. And then I could use Swifty, but I'm gonna let it retain by holding it in hand a little bit more. That one's gonna trigger. Looks like we got a duplicate of Swifty instead of the healing one that grants me shield. We'll use Frost Charge. I really do need more card draw. I think that's the main issue I'm having with Orlea right now. And then we're gonna use Healing Light. And of course, I got a duplicate of Swifty yet again. Ah, still no Sturdy, but whatever. I mean, it was enough to get rid of the entire wave in one go, so I can't complain too much, but I will still complain, because I don't think that's fair. If it doesn't work in my benefit, then it's not fair. And here we go. Okay, none of my, oh man, I should have activated that. Damn. Okay, let's activate Shield Wall, and then let's do Back Edge Parry. Then we've got Experience Strike. Yeah! Here we go, 1,000, and then I end my turn, and it's just melting through them. Oh my gosh. Oh, come on, one more hit. It would have been one more hit, and I would have been A-okay. Okay, also, let's see. Now I go up to 1,500, but that's just enough to get rid of all of them. Yup. Okay. 300%. Or... increase. I think I'll do Fortitude, actually, so that holds me or allows me to retain onto my shield for longer. or holds onto my shield for longer is what I was gonna say. I don't know why I corrected myself. Then we'll do the arena. And I think that's one thing as well with this season, is that it feels like I'm just unable to get a full set of refined gear. I kind of want to be able to, because I think there's so much potential to do like wacky options and make a new build out of what you get from the arena pieces, but I don't know. It's like, it doesn't want to work with me, so it always instead decides, you know what, instead I'm just not gonna give them to you. And you just have to pray that you eventually get some kind of arena gear or refined gear. And of course, not be so distracted by talking all the time that you forget which path you're going down. That's happened to me a couple of times before, admittedly. We can do sturdy here, and I think that should be enough to murderize all of them. There we go. 1776 was a very peculiar number it managed to land on. Wow. Ice Fragment, Frost Charge. Then we can do Sacred Cleanser, Sensor, and then we'll do the Pierce card. Also managed to get Sturdy. I probably should have used it if I think about it. But also, I'm wondering when I'll get an Epiphany for like any one of my cards again that I'll be able to choose from. Sometime this year, maybe? Growth Acceleration, if that card is a softie, yeah, we can trigger this on a softie, and then we can maybe do Ironclad next turn. Hopefully you produce, nope, okay, didn't produce a single card, unfortunate. Will all 3 of my Rocket Punches trigger now? I think 2 of them are. Yeah, there we go. 2 of my Rocket Punches all in one go. For 1 turn, when each damage shield is activated through cards by allies, increase damage amount of allies by 15% for 1 turn. You know what? I think this one goes here because then it affects Magna and 9. But I could be wrong. I don't know if it affects the entire team because some of them will say combatants, some of them will just say allies. So I don't know if it includes itself. On counterattack, if a card was not dealt to an increased damage amount by 50% for 1 turn, we can do that to this one. So that hopefully my Glacial Strike or whatever it was called deals even more damage since it's defense-based or shield-based damage. So it generates, I think for half of the amount of damage, it generates a shield over your combatants. Ugh. And then it's just a case of continuing on. You know, thinking about it, I actually haven't built up any kind of deck for my Spiral Tower of Screams playthrough. I kind of feel like I should be doing that, but ugh. It's, I'm still grinding, you know? Okay, this one should be used every single time, so it always activates Hue for Ironclad. Very nice, very nice. And then now at the start of the next turn, we're just going to be infinitely generating more and more shield. So, not too bad. Also, triggering this, it triggers the lead cards first, then it triggers it. Which is coincidentally the exact order I want to run it in as well. Okay. Oh, it is gone. And then end my turn. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. And then we'll do... Oh, never mind. I think... Is it Jover for him? Nope. Okay, Glacial Iron Fist, and we're up to nearly 4,000 shield in a single battle. I want to see how high we can take it with the boss. But, which isn't too far away now. You're falling short of what I expected. How so? I think I'm not doing half bad whatsoever. I mean, I've not taken... Well, I took a little bit, but I haven't taken any proper damage at all. So, if this card is in the hand, creation in it, plus 100% damage until used... 60% damage to random enemies, create... Yeah, I think I'm going to pick this one. I want to create even more sturdies so that I can gain shield. But also, Magna's just about to go insane to the membrane. So, maybe... Let's see. Is there anything that I want to try and reshuffle? I don't know. I feel like there should be better ones for Leia there. Kind of... I don't know if I should reshuffle some of these. Dost thou not speaks premium English? I very full do. quite verily. Prithee speaketh to me, shalt thou wish to have thine ears graced with mine oldest English. Though I can't speak it as fluently. It takes me like a second in order to think of how to say something. Like in maybe kind of bad, kind of posh Old English. Should I remove the back edge parry here? I don't know. I kind of want to remove one of the healing lights, actually. We could probably do that. We can remove the healing light here. Oh, not that one. Oh no, actually, let's remove the slashes. I don't need more of the slashes. Thy shall speak. Well, shalt, right? And for 9? Maybe? Can I? Does it do anything? No. Okay, I don't think the time regulator does anything just now for her. So skip, and then hopefully I get to a next store sometime, and maybe there I'll select one card to Epiphany. Oh, but all my cards are Epiphanied. Convert selected cards into Infection. Create 2 Contamination. Okay, 200% fixed damage, 30% damage for each card in hand. We'll take the money from this, or the credits from this, and then I can use that for re-epiphanies. I mean, now it's so much nicer that the option to re-epiphany your cards exists. Oh my gosh. Like, sometimes I would be ending runs with an absurd amount of credits with just no way to spend them. And now I can. Now I can. So, I'm quite happy. I'm quite happy. Ice Fragment, why did... Oh, okay, because it's Inspiration. Yes, let's do Sturdy. I should have activated Sturdy, shouldn't I? Okay, well, it's going to activate 2 of my... Okay, never mind. It's going to get rid of that one. Boing! Here we go. And then we'll use Fighting Spirits, and now that should get me to the level 2 one, I think. And then I can also use Sturdy here, actually. And then because I can, I'll use Swifty because it's eating up so much my hand. Then I can generate a new card. What's that new card going to be? It's going to be Softy. Then we'll use Ironclad here. And now... Oh, 2,500 shield. Or 2,429. So close to just one-shotting. So, oh no. I couldn't even use the mental breakdown cards. Ugh, let me use them, let me use them. I'm worried that if I don't resolve this breakdown, I'll get it. Because I had a really good run yesterday, but I just ran into an issue where every one of my characters went on mental breakdown at the exact same time. So what ended up, I just lost. It was against those guys that self-destruct and deal a ridiculous amount of damage upon self-destructing. They just kept... I think they built up to like 10 morale. They just refused to attack me, and I wasn't drawing any of the cards that I needed to. It sucked. It sucked so bad. Okay, let's do this. Then let's gain shield. Then we'll do Fighting Spirit, and then I'll remove Curse of the Fairy. And that should be a-okay. Now we're... Okay. I thought that would have done more, but no, maybe this is fine. Now they do Incubate, which isn't too bad because I think... And I'm only guessing. I think I'm going to be able to remove them next turn if I can get some more shield generation. Magna Screams are, like, legitimately off-putting. They're so intense. Create or retain to create. Change this to retain, create Sturdy. Yeah, no, I'll do that. Add 3 weaken to all enemies. Don't mind if I do. Except it also activated the card. Very well, very well. Okay. So now I've got some of Sturdy. Let me trigger that. Yeah, let's see if I can get higher Sturdy. No, I didn't. Okay, instead I just got Swifty. Whatever. I mean, we'll trigger the Ironclad next turn anyway. Oh, never mind. I wasn't even paying attention to how much HP they had. That was, like, plenty, actually. So let's do this middle one because I want to try to do the abnormal enemy. Since I'm not 100% sure if it does actually drop more upgrade materials for use in the Zero System upgrades. And finally, we recover from the mental break on Magnus, so now I can build up a redonkulous amount of shield again. Ice Fragment, Sacred Sensor, then we'll do Slash, and I think that's basically the turn. Yeah, I mean, it looks like it, right? So, not too far off, not too far off. We'll do Frost Charge, then we'll do Curse of the Fairy, and then I think I'll do Back Edge Parry. And then, can I create another Sturdy? I'm just looking for more Sturdies, but it doesn't seem like it. Doesn't seem like it. Growing Creature turns into Sturdy. Here we go. And then I'll generate a ridiculous amount of shield. Oh my gosh. Here we go. I think... No, never mind. I'm getting really close, though. 4,000 shield. And... Can I generate another one? No. Okay. This is so close to wiping him, though. I think I get him on the counterattacks. I wanted to see if I could get to the cap of shield, though. I think that was the highest shield I've ever had. Maybe? Though, then again, I could probably build even higher if I were able to. So, on healer, recover, inflict... Yeah, I'm gonna pick this just because it increases my exploration. I know it goes against like my interests a little bit there, but come on. Increasing exploration level is actually quite important if you want to unlock some of the meta items. So I'll do that. And then we've got this one, which I think actually isn't that bad because of the Divine Intervention for dealing damage. That's the highest shield I've seen. Yeah, no, you can go up to some insanely high shield values for this. I could try stack. I think this one, or at least maybe the next one. At least with the boss, I could 100% do it. I can build up a ridiculous amount of shield. So we'll destroy this one, and... Yeah, I think that's it for that one. Throw away a bunch of the cards, and then... I'm gonna trigger Ironclad. I think that should take me. Ooh. This, though. Okay, let's see. Can I produce a whole bunch? I know for sure I'm not getting a Swifty. There's another Sturdy. Okay. What is the best way to go about this? I'm going to... I could go... okay. 3,800 or 4,000. I think 4,000 might be better here. We'll do... Yeah. Let's Ironclad into Frost Charge, 5,000 shield now, and I think... Yes, actually, yes, I've hit the cap. Because it's 2,522, which then makes 5,000, and then you multiply that by 2. Yeah, so it's double your HP cap, so I just went... Wait, it's invincible while it's in the back? Well, sucks to suck. But yeah, as you can see, activating this, once it does the animation, activating this doesn't give me any more shield. I'm now at the maximum. So, blink, and I can just end my turn and it's going to lose immediately because I deal fixed amounts of damage depending on the amount of shield I have. It's so nuts. Gotta go now. IRL stuff to do, and you'll probably end stream soon, so when I'm back, you'll be offline. Bye-bye. Take care, Sister Brown. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you tomorrow, because I'll be streaming, once again, Chaos Zero Nightmare. Though I was probably going to mention it during post-stream or whatever, that I might begin streaming Devil May Cry again on Sundays, and moving one of the days that I stream Chaos Zero Nightmare over onto Wednesdays, just so it breaks things up a little bit more. Because I realize that, like, I do a lot of consecutive runs. But yeah, have a wonderful rest of your day. So... I'm not gonna permit that message through. May the, force be with you. Sure. Let's see, what card do I want to remove? I'm going to remove this Frozen Fist card, I think. And then... Oh, whoops, I accidentally clicked outside the screen. Then I can meditate, maybe? Yeah, I'll meditate, and I'll try to get a better result on... I think I want to get a better result on Experience Strike, but I also don't know what other ones I can have for this. Like, Growth Acceleration, let's Epiphany it again, maybe I can get something different. And then, yeah, the, knife emoji. If the card is sturdy, decrease the stress of an ally by 5. Yes, please. I'm gonna do that one. I just want it to trigger, like, all the time. Okay. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Continuing on. And yeah, this one's not gonna be too difficult either. Just gonna trigger that. Then I'm gonna do, ooh, Ironclad. Yet again. Trigger Sacred Thingamabob, then Fighting Spirits. Then I can do Healing Light, and hopefully I can get a Sturdy. I don't think I will, and I did not. I kind of want to be able to increase the chances of me doing it there, like maybe every 3 times you heal, it's guaranteed to use or create a creation card, because it feels so slow being unable to. Then we'll do Frost Charge, then we'll do Fatal Strike maybe, and I can do Back Edge Parry, and I think this just gets rid of all of them. I think this just game ends them all. Bye-bye! Bye-bye! There we go. Okay, and now, right before the last boss of this run. Very cool, very cool. You know, we can do Energy Barrier. I am drawing 6 cards per turn because of the fate that I used, so... Sorry, I had to stop talking for the first time in like half an hour to drink a little bit. Oh my gosh. So now, can I hopefully get some of my upgrades? Nope. Also didn't trigger my lead card at the start of the turn, even though I've got that equipped, right? Yeah, I've got this equipped, but it wasn't activating the initiation ones. That is, as the card said, annoying. And then I'll activate Fighting Spirits into Ironclad into 781. Though it only deals 740 because it's, you know, applying at the end of the turn. A little bit unfortunate, but oh well. Now, maybe. Let's activate the Retain effect so that I can get Sturdy into level 3. And then, 3,840 damage per turn is fixed. Yeah, he stands no chance. Do you like Narya? I liked her story, but I didn't really like her kit. I didn't like her kit that much, so I just kind of haven't bothered, and I didn't bother to roll for her. Instead, I saved up all my rolls to get 9 instead, and I don't think I'm regretting that, if I'm being honest. I really, really like 9. Narya is very cute, though, and I do like her design. She's just so... She's just a poor girl, you know? She's just a girl, just a bunny girl living in a terrible world. Life is not plastic, but it's also not fantastic. Whoa, what the... The effect just, like, walked off screen. The card was like, I'm out of here. At the start of the turn, gain counterattack 1? Yes, I will go for that one. Then I can do... Frost, Glacial, into 5,000 again. Well, look at that. And then I'm just gonna end him here. And it's Jover. Oh, there we go. Good, you're safe if you did say yes. I would have called the FBI on you. Oh, I mean, she's like, what, a test tube monster? So... I don't know how everything works with that. Dormant Seeds, when gaining shield, 100% fixed shield 1 time per turn, or decrease damage taken by 10% per turn. I think I'm going to do Dormant Seeds. It doesn't matter. Yet again, it's Divine Intervention. Doesn't matter whatsoever. Also, I thought I did 2 of the arenas, but I guess not. Increase damage amount by 12%. Yeah, there we go. And although it says 131, let's see how much this actually turns into. So 131 would be... Okay, hurry up. And then we'll see how much Divine Intervention got me out of this one. There we go. 524 and 1,200 of the crystals of Discord. Very nice, very nice. There we go. Exploring new coordinates. None of them have the Divine Intervention. That's lame. I don't want that. And I also really don't want Neglect 1. Neglect 1 is probably the worst one. No pun intended. Yeah, Decrease max HP by 50%, they both have that. Tyrant 4, they both have that. So it's either between Fury or Loss. I think I would do Loss, but honestly, I'm just gonna skip out on that one. Okay, now I've got Dialos 2. I've not gotten a Sakred one. I wonder what his face is. So far, Nihilum was increase all the damage counts to 3 or plus 3. Then Dialos has been retain and deal fixed damage based on a shield, and Kirkian has been anytime you activate a 2-cost or higher card, draw and gain 2 AP. Really, really cool. Also, from level, what was that, 73 up to 83, nuts. That is nuts. Here we go, activate that. Ascendant Revelation, increase Divine Epiphany chance by 3%. Ooh, okay. Or, during the Aether Eater event, the Aether Eater will no longer gain shield. Oh my gosh! That's pretty good, actually. And then we can do Codex Record, and I'm just gonna claim all. Nom 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 nom. There we go. And... oh! Actually, I've just noticed the time. Unfortunately, it has come to that point. I am so sorry, but we reached the end of things so soon. Can you believe it? Wow. And I was having so much fun playing through Chaos Zero Nightmare. I'll be on at the same time tomorrow. If anything, I just like Narya's design. But yeah. Oh well. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for typing. And I hope you enjoyed the stream. I hope it was fun. I hope it was entertaining. And always, 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 feel free to pitch things in. And if you want me to play new games, if you want to have specific topics of conversation, let me know. But as said, thank you so much for attending. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.